Their eye offset. If you notice in tandem, they're off the tackles. It goes to Johnson, and he's finding daylight as he tiptoes through beautifully. Look at the blockers in front of him all the way down.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video, and welcome to the Gridiron. And I want to go over the Giants tight end situation leading up to this draft. And I gotta admit, I didn't realize the Giants have almost an entire football team where the tight ends under contract. They got 8 of them under contract. A couple of these guys I didn't even know we even had on the team. So we certainly don't need any depth in the tight end position. I can guarantee you that. Now, they said there's, I think, 6 of them I was aware of. A couple of the guys I didn't even know. I mean, of course, you got Evan Engram, you got Kyle Rudolph, Levine Toilolu. I always have a hard time pronouncing his last name. And then you got Caden Smith, and I knew we had Nate Weeding and Bryson John, a guy from Canada. He's like 6'7". Of course, Toilolu, he's 6'8". So we got a couple tall tight ends. But then Nakia Griffin Stewart, didn't know about him. And then there's Cole Haikutini, didn't know about him either. So we got 8 guys. All right. Evan Ingram's making a little over $6 million. Kyle Rudolph's 4.75, I believe, somewhere around there. Toilolu is making like 1.6, somewhere around there. All the other guys are making like under $1 million. I think Caden Smith's at $850,000. The other 4 guys are making like right around the league minimum at about $660,000 a year. So, yeah, so we don't need any depth. We got we got tight ends aplenty. The thing is, we have a lot of depth, and then we have, we got Kyle Rudolph, but, the top 2 guys, okay, we got Kyle Rudolph. We know what we got with him. We got a veteran presence, leadership, red zone target, a very good tight end toward the end of his career. We got him for 2 years. I mean, if we sign him after 2 years, okay, that's fine. But I mean, he's not, going to be our plug and play, go get him tight end of the future. Then of course, we got Evan Engram. This is his 5th year. Big year for him. Can he stay healthy? He's making a little over $6 million a year. Now, in his 4 years he's played with us, he's averaged 54 receptions a season. He's averaged 605 yards a season. 605 receiving yards a season. He's averaged 4 touchdowns a season. And that's not even like 3.5 touchdowns a season, somewhere around there. 3 to 4 touchdowns a season. So the question is after this season, I mean, if he goes on the open market and he wants like I don't know, he's getting 6, say wants 6 to 8, 6 to 9, just throwing numbers out there. I don't know for certain. Do you want to pay somebody? And in his 4 years, he's played 50 out of a possible 64 games. So basically, in his 4-year career, he's almost missed an entire season due to injuries. I mean, injuries happen, but I mean, he's missed almost an entire season due to injuries. We were lucky last year. He played all 16 games. He had a phenomenal year. It was his first time he actually played all 16 games as well. But do you want to pay somebody $6 to $9 million, whatever he would want him getting, for like 50 catches a year, 600 yards a year, 3 to 4 touchdown receptions a year? I don't think so. But the problem is when are you going to replace him? Are you going to do it in the draft this year? Are you, are you going to be in a position to do it next year in the draft? The free agents next year, a couple of the decent ones. I mean, well, you got Engram. I mean, if he's a free agent, it means you're letting him go. Then you got Zach Ertz, David Njoku. But Ertz was injured last year. Njoku's been injured a lot the past couple of years. I mean, could you imagine what the Browns' offense would be like if they had Landry, Odell Beckham Jr., and Njoku? I mean, their running game. Whew, wow. I mean, they had their run last year, and Odell Beckham Jr. was hurt, and Njoku was hurt. I mean, wow, what they could be. Whew. But I mean, so some of the younger guys, free agents next year, that the Giants could maybe possibly think about signing are kind of injury prone. Then you have some of the more veteran-like guys, but they're kind of older. I mean, there's Eric Ebron, there's Cook, Jimmy Graham, the Gronk, if he's going to play another season, who knows? I mean, so some of the guys, so there's not a, not a boatload of, unbelievable free agents for the tight ends next year. So which leads you to, are you going to re-sign Engram? I mean, it's a huge season for him. I mean, if he drops another 11 balls this year, even if he plays all 16 games, he drops another 11 balls, are we going to re-sign him for that? If he gets injured again, are we going to re-sign him again? So if not, who are you gonna get? I mean, is Toyolu? No. I mean, he's not going to be the, Caden Smith. I mean, I like the guy, but so if not, we're going to resign Engram. When? When are we going to replace him? It's going to be kind of tough to replace him this year in the draft. I mean, if you replace him this year in the draft, then you really need to have, you gotta have your tango partner. It takes two to tango. It means if you're going to draft somebody, you're going to need somebody on the other end to take Engram and his $6 million a year contract. You just can't let him go, because if you let him go, it's a $6 million. It's a $6 million cap hit, dead cap hit, if you let him go. So you want to trade him to somebody and get. I mean, I don't know if you get a third rounder for him, because I mean, if all you got to figure too is, like, if the Giants draft a tight end and they're trying to get rid of Engram, the other team's kind of holding the cards here. They know the Giants are desperate to get rid of Engram. Now, if the other team held the cards, would they want to give him a third round pick for him? I don't know. I'd say maybe a fourth rounder might be more like it, So, but then you got to find somebody who's going to want to willing to give up a fourth rounder. I mean, hey, let's be realistic here. If Engram catches the ball, he's a mismatch, right? If he can stay healthy, he's a mismatch, right? But that's a big if. But also the other team's got to be willing to have $6 million set aside, to take off for his contract as well, too. So it's not going to be easier said than done. With Pitts, I'll tell you what, boy, it would be nice if we got him. But then I said, but if we got him, then you got to get rid of Engram. Now, if you got a number 11 selection, I think is a little over $3 million. So if we were to get Pitts and we were able to get rid of Engram somehow, trade him, we would save almost $3 million. We can get Pitts, upgrade at the position, and save almost $3 million. That's if he got to us, which I don't see that happening. I don't. I think he's too good. I think the top 10 pick, somebody takes him. Which would, the only other one, there's no, obviously we're not going to take anybody else, other than him in the first round. That would be, in the second round would maybe the baby Gronk, Freirmuth from Penn State. Now, his contract would be a little over, would be like maybe where we drafted him, he'd be worth like about $1.4 million. So if we were to get him in the second round, okay, And if we could get rid of Engram, trade him, maybe get a fourth back, we would save about $4.5 million off the salary. Now, that would help. Now, that would be if we got him in the second round. In the only other one that I can see would be the guy from Miami University, from the U, which is like tight end central. I'll tell you what, some of the guys that they've put out over the Njoku, our Jeremy Shockey, right? Olsen. I mean, you can go on and on. I mean, how many tight ends they've pumped out over the years. But Brevin Jordan, I don't see him in the second round. If we were to pick him up, maybe it might be a third round. He's good, but he's a good blocker too, which is obviously, which is important. Let's not forget about a tight end who can actually block. What a concept. Now, if we were to get him in the third round, his contract, I believe, where we draft is a little under $1 million. It'd be like $900,000. So if we could get him, if somehow we could get rid of Evan Engram, we would save over $5 million on our salary and maybe get an additional fourth round pick as well too. But those are about the only three guys that I could see us drafting. I mean, because after that, I mean, you're just you're getting more depth. I mean, it's like we don't need more depth. We have 8 tight ends under contract. We don't need any more. The only way we would have to get another tight end would be somebody that we can get and almost pretty much put him right in there. Because, I mean, to get another tight end just to put him on it, I mean, why? I mean, we have too many other pressing needs. So if we're not going to, we're not going to get a tight end, to draft a tight end so we can put him right in there, we have other pressing needs that we can, we need to fill. I said maybe we got the X-Man and we got the Carter in the third round for edge rushers, right? Third round comes around again, maybe get another edge rusher, right? Get a nice little bundle of the third round edge rushers. But I mean, with the amount of pressure we were putting on last year, with basically no edge rushers, and the amount of sacks we got, and the amount of hits we got, and all that, if we could get the X-Man, Carter, and somebody else, and get them healthy, plus the other free agents that we picked up this year, well, if we'd have some, we're not going to have a 15, 20 sack guy, but I'll tell you, we might get a collection of guys that maybe get 4, 5, 6 sacks apiece. They add up. But, if we're not going to, I don't think we're getting Pitts in the first round. He'll be gone. I said the only other question would be Freirmuth maybe in the second round, maybe Jordan in the third round. Other than that, I don't think there's any way we're getting a tight end this year. But which will wind up leading us to, big year, Evan Engram. He's going to have a big year if we're going to re-sign him. Then again, can we afford to re-sign him too? Because we got a lot of contracts coming up as well. But it's going to be a big year for Evan Engram. Can he hold on to the ball? And can he stay healthy? 2 questions we got to find out. But other than that, I said we're not going to draft a tight end, especially for depth. So I hope Pitts gets to us, but I kind of doubt it. He's too good. I said other than Freirmuth and Jordan, I don't see us taking anybody else. But big year for Evan Engram. Big year. And tomorrow, we're going to start going over the wide receivers. All right. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time any day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo!